afternoon, everyone, and welcome back from the coffee break. I hope the caffeine is hitting right because next 40 minutes is about conversations. And before that, sir, I have one thing. I think you'll find the answer to why there's a gap between this Gen Z and the youngest and the younger. And you'll find the answer as well. And Gen Z is going to give you the answer how to bridge that gap. Okay, moving on. It's a beautiful lady sitting in front of me, and we're going to be talking about impactful podcasting. And I think impactful podcasting is such a fascinating idea today because there's so much content out there, and it's not merely for entertainment. And people, it is trying to shape communities, building ideas and perception of the world in people's head. So I think it's very important to have such discussions in today's world. So I'll begin with you, Charu.
Okay. Yeah.
So in today's digital age where content is endless but attention is very limited, what do you think truly makes a conversation impactful enough to stay with people beyond the screen?
Yes, I think this is a very valid question. Before I started my podcast by the name Charu Kumar Show, I'll say the name as well. So the thing which as an audience glued me to the podcast was always the content. As an audience, I would like to, what I feel, as an audience I would like to know the remedies or the solutions of a problem rather than the philosophy and the bookish knowledge. That is what I feel because that will stay me put to the podcast for long. So when I started my podcast, so the idea behind my podcast was I have invited the top, bestest, knowledgeable people of every field, be it ortho doctor who is director of maths, to Guinness World Record holder Dr. Wadhwa, to all the bestest doctors or the Vastu specialists or the astrologers or everybody in my podcast. So when they talk to me in the podcast or when as an audience I feel I am not interested in their journey as in their hard days or because we know where they're standing today. When they talk to me, they talk about the remedies and the cures. So I think that is a sustainability as an audience I feel that when I'm learning that, okay, this problem, the cure is this. This thing, calcium is not important for arthritis is something which I came to know when I did the podcast. So that these kind of knowledgeable facts I think makes you glued rather than that's what I feel, philosophical things about a person. That's what I feel. So content should be, first of all, very authentic. Secondly, it should have facts, which should be, based on the realities. So that is what I feel makes the audience glued to you, and they keep coming back to your podcast.
So you bring a health aspect to it.
Everything, astrology, health, vastu, everything.
Okay, so my next question is to Priyanka. So do you think, as a Gen Z, we have opened up a new space for people to be more social taboos, topics like mental health and emotional struggles. And what do you think when we talk about such things? How does it impact the listeners?
Hi everyone, my name is Priyanka Saraswat, not Priyanka Singh, and I am from the Dimple Way podcast. And your question was that.
See, we are talking about mental health these days. So we have started talking about it a lot, and we are touching all the social issues, mental health, breakups, heartbreaks. Earlier people used to keep these things private affair, but now people want to talk about it. I think we are more sensitizing people, and how is it going to impact the audience as well?
I'm just going to tell my personal story about being in the podcast, being a podcaster, and how I evolved as a person through my podcast. And I think that as a woman, it should be a responsibility that to be in touch with yourself, right? And as I am from the millennial Gen Z के बीच में जो आता है, I am from that generation, and it has been my personal journey to overcome my personal struggles. And I think when I talk about, and as a podcaster, when I sit with the guest, it is my responsibility to talk about the struggle that I went through, that it is going to be relatable to the audiences out there. And I know that if I am speaking and if I am healing through the podcast that I'm having with somebody, it is going to inspire so many young women out there to be accepting of the fact that something is bothering you, right? And we need to talk about it more because everyone in this world is suffering, right? And we are not being told that we are not. Especially, I am going to advocate the women out there that I'm from Himachal, right? So men and women are brought up very differently in our society. So as I was the person who was not being heard in my house because I am the second child, and I think if you are one of the second child, आपको नहीं सुना जाता because घर में सारे बड़े हैं, you are the smaller one. So that's how I kind of used to speak to myself. I worked on my communication skills, and today eventually with the help of my family and my co-partner out there, I finally found my own voice, and I know that it is going to inspire so many women out there to speak up. And if I talk about my own struggles, it is going to make other people also be comfortable to accept the fact that it is normal for them to feel lost, it is normal for them to doubt themselves, it is normal for them to be vulnerable and accept that you are vulnerable and you are suffering. And it is a normal thing and human thing, and it's going to be a great motivation for them. I think that made sense what I said.
So as we were talking about being a woman and being in a content creation industry, so I see two beautiful women sitting in front of me, but I don't see that very often that women are there in long form podcasting. What do you think where we lack at, and why are there not many women performing or trying to come up with content such we call the high content, that is like finance and law and talking about health? I see a lot of less women talking about these things. Do you think we need more women? Of course we do, but if we bring more women and when more women come into this, what kind of change will that have in the society?
I think women in every field when it comes, that will bring tsunami in every society, because wherever woman has been heading, be it any company or any organization or even अपने घर में, if we have the woman who's making decisions, she's always wiser. And in terms of podcast, you very well said that in finance or health, we don't have women discussing about the financial issues. The reason is, again, the women were never taken out of the house in professional fields. So they don't have that acumen and had that experience to do so. So women who have come out have actually, broken certain norms of the society. And I'm sure a few of them might not be even, getting support from the family as well. But they have created a niche, So I think it's very important for women to come out, and wherever woman has come out, she has made a change. So that is all I can be only wishful, and obviously the generation today, they are making their daughters very well equipped, they're giving them best of education. So that is going to make a change, but as she said, that the voice and the opinion of the female in the house matters, which has been snubbed by our elders. When I was growing up, I was fortunate enough to be born in a very good family, as in a very liberal family where I had my opinion, and I think that has shaped me today who I am. But yes, my mothers or my aunts, or today also, certain women in our society and family are still snubbed. They don't have the opinion, they're not even allowed to share their opinion in the families. Brother would say, "Tum chup raho, tumhe nahi pata." Father would say, "We go out, we know better." And if they're not working, then to their opinion doesn't matter at all. No? They're not seeing the outside world. And I think they're more wiser. So this attitude has to be snubbed, and that will start from the home itself. So every daughter, every mother, every grandmother, every bua aunt opinion should be heard, maybe on the dining tables, maybe when you're making a matter of just buying a home or even renovating a home. And I'm telling you, this will make a lot of changes, and it starts from our home. It starts from the very next step we do.
Shall I also answer?
Yeah, please.
Okay. तो जैसे ये पॉइंट मैंने पहले भी मेंशन किया, the way a guy, a boy and a girl child is brought up in our families, it's very different. And from the place that I come from, I am very, very proud of the place that I come from. But at the same time, I have seen things, how a male and a female is brought up. लड़की को इसी तरह से बड़ा किया जाता है कि वो एक सबमिसिव रोल में उसको पोजीशन किया जाता है कि आप पढ़ाई भी आप इतनी ही करो कि आप इतने आगे ना बढ़ जाओ कि आप घर ना चला सको. And that's something I had also heard, that we should not have sent you to a very big university, because now you have started to have your own brain and started to have questions on everything. So that is something which does that does trigger some people out there, especially men who still operate from the controlling factor. But I think this needs to change, and men and women both need to come together and be respectful of each other, and that's how you're going to create a harmony in the family, and which is very important, that the woman in the house, the mother needs to be respected for what she does to the family. I don't want women to be glamorized for the sacrifices that they made. I am going to be married, I am going to have kids, I am also going to have my career, and I am going to have everything, and my children are going to be inspired for the things that I achieved, not for the sacrifices that I made. Because as a parent, it should be my responsibility to build my career as well as to bring my children also very nicely. That's something I feel.
That's something here. She said very beautifully that I would not like to be like my mother. You know, because she's seen her mother as a daughter. So there is a saying that a boy would always say अपनी बीवी को कि तुम मेरी माँ जैसी होनी चाहिए, तुम्हें खाना मेरी माँ जैसा बनाना चाहिए, तुम्हें ख्याल मेरी माँ जैसा बनाना, तुम मेरी माँ जैसी बन जाओ. But a boy always have this, this thing from his wife, that you be like my mother, because he's always seen his mother serving him and his father. कपड़े अलमीरा में पहुँचते हैं, खाना टाइम पे टेबल पे उनको मिलता है, सब कुछ. But the daughter would never say that मैं अपनी माँ की जैसे बन जाऊँ. Because she has seen her sacrifices, as she's saying, she's seen her crying in the washrooms, she has seen her not being heard when her बुआ and aunts are there. So daughter would never say कि मैं अपनी माँ जैसी बनूँ, but बेटा जरूर अपनी बीवी को बोलेगा कि तुम मेरी माँ जैसी बनो, because he is not seen those struggles.
And I have also seen men who respect their mothers, but they don't respect women out there.
Think we are diverging,
And that's also
let's stick to what podcasting only. So, Charal, up to your next question. See, we are living in the times of war, and where there is so much misinformation out there. You know, what do you think? Does podcasting or impactful podcasting should be a medium for civil preparedness? And how can we positively harness such platforms for these kind of things?
Riya very rightly said this word impactful podcasting. Because podcasting is a medium where we are reaching, if I have few thousand subscribers, which I have, so my subscribers are listening to me, or maybe somebody has in some million subscribers. So it's a medium where we are giving our information to people. So impactful with the right information is very important, because I have seen in many podcasts wrong information that there is crisis happening, the prices will go, you start, like we had very lately the LPG crisis in our country, oh, the cylinders gonna go because that Hormuz Strait has been blocked, India will have shortage, people started collecting LPG. So the right podcasting means you have to be very responsible for the kind of information you are selling, and I think for that, I don't know, but there should be a check, because it's a free platform where we are able to just say anything to everything, right? So there should be a check that whatever information even I am giving, or any podcast or influencer is giving, has to be very correct, because it is definitely responsible for creating chaos in our country. Let's say WhatsApp. So if I make a statement today and it flows to 10-15 people or 10-15,000 people, it is either going the positive way or the negative. People are gaining more attention by spreading false news just to gain the viewership. So there has to be a check.
So you want recently China has introduced a policy in which they have tried to remove all those creators whose niche has not been backed up by their educational qualification. Do you think we should have similar kind of laws here as well?
We have like crores of population in our country now. Every other person is a podcaster or influencer. It's a need of the hour for our country to have the right people being influencers or podcasters, because when they spread false information, it spreads like this. So there is no control. Today, if something happens if there's a small little thing happens in Chandigarh, probably an influencer. Who is an influencer today? Who is a podcaster? Who is, posting every second something? So if he sends a wrong information, the whole city gets into a different kind of a story, which is not a fact.
Right.
So you are right. There has to be a check, and me being a podcaster, I also say that there has to be a check by the government. Whoever I'm calling, they should be also responsible in speaking what they are saying.
So what is your idea? Will it affect the free speech?
See, free speech, if it's in the favor, it is welcome. But when we are misusing the free speech, then it should be definitely blocked. I agree. I definitely say there has to be some, decorum and some rules, and strictly there should be some rules. I do agree to
It's
this.
nice to see creators are, looking out for government, and I think it's a creator's responsibility as well to draw a line where their personal opinions should not shape a perspective in the way.
Absolutely. It has to be checked. It definitely has to be checked.
So you guys have a wider audience. You are dealing with kids as well, and I've seen a few of your shorts, and I see you dealing with millennials and Gen Z both. So please tell our audience, how will Gen Z bridge the gap between millennials and Gen Z difference of opinion?
I think today it's not only about, respect should not be only for the elders, but it should be for the younger generation as well, right? If as an elder you expect to be respected, then it should be our responsibility. Then if the child is a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, he or she is also going to form self-respect in her or himself, right? So I, as a podcaster, as a person also, I am very empathetic and respectful for everybody's emotions, and I think it should be for everybody out there कि किसी भी चीज़ की ना अकड़ लेके नहीं चलना है कि भाई मैंने जो दुनिया देखी है तो मुझे सब कुछ पता है. You don't know everything, and nobody can know everything, right? You should be humble enough that there is always a scope to learn, there is always a scope to grow as a person. Even at your 60 or 70, you should be like an empty bucket, right? And there is so much to learn from little children, and Gen Z also. They are very opinionated. At the same time, they definitely know to draw boundary, which we didn't know. I mean, I have started to know it now, and how to draw boundary
So
with their...
you tell me this. See, I'm talking about podcast as a medium. So you talk with people of every age.
Yes.
You cater to the audience of every age. Now tell me how that specifically has helped to bridge the gap. In that media, in that sense, I'm asking, like, when you talk, it changes your perspective about life and things. It is catering to larger audience as well.
Yes.
And what all topics you think we should talk with an older generation, the youngest generation and the younger generation, sorry about that. And how do we bridge the gap? Like what topic should we bring up so this difference of opinion does not stay for long?
I think I do deal with Gen Z people as well, like the girls and boys from the same generation. And I don't want to sound too intellectual at that time when I'm talking to a person who is from the 21, 20. You cannot expect that person to be so wise at 18 or 19, right? So I do try to be of that age because I have been there, right? As a podcaster, it should be my responsibility that I am not going to dump that wisdom to the person who's बहुत ना इंटेलेक्चुअल उस टाइम पे नहीं है, and we all have been in that shoe, right? तो वहाँ पे बच्चों के साथ बच्चा बनना है, 19 और टीनेज के साथ टीनेजर बनना है. I think that's how you break the bridge, because everybody has that time to evolve, right? And उनका भी time आएगा when they are going to be at 28, 29. So we don't have to judge them for who they are at 21 or 19. That's something I feel, and I do make sure that I do that.
You've been an entrepreneur yourself, and content creation is a big industry and it runs on big money as well. You think once the content starts getting a lot of attention, we trade our authenticity for likes, views? Is it like that, or how is it? That is, in most cases, that is the reason. And how do we keep a check on it? Like after a point, if the content is authentic, even bringing the guests which are from the same field, some are scripted out there. What is your opinion on that?
Well, I would say it's the other way around. Till the time you get famous or your podcast starts running, you try to get all those silly things also on the podcast, behind the scenes, so that you are able to get all kind of audience glued to you. But when the podcast starts running, then I feel the guests also like to get associated with you, and then you become more responsible that my audience has glued to me because of the content I'm giving. So then you rightly said you become more business minded in terms of stopping certain people to be a part of your podcast. Like if I take my example, for me, podcast is to, as I told you, it's if you see my podcast, if it's a skin specialist, it's a top-notch skin specialist of city. If it is an Ayurvedic doctor or Vastu or astrologer or past life regression therapist, or anybody. So now I've created a niche where people are coming back to me. My secretary people say, when is your next podcast coming? You've learned so much, and I've learned so much from my own podcast. Now when somebody comes for advertisement, let's say somebody is coming that he wants to promote his, maybe he has a industrial unit in Mohali and maybe some manufacturing unit. I know that will not give the content to the audience. His journey and his manufacturing, my audience might not like it because they are the ones who looks for remedies and cures. So there I keep a business proposal that look, this is what I'm going to, obviously at times it's paid also, but here the charge is a bit more. Why? Because I know I'm compromising on my audience and obviously I want to promote him also. So there when you're asking for, in a business point of view, you're also kind of filtering. Certain people say, okay, maybe I'm not able to pay that. So it's a very sweet way of saying that because this is not my podcast, what the agenda, but they want to be famous, they want to advertise because you have these many followers. So it becomes more of an advertising thing also. Many podcasters, yes, then they definitely, move away from the topic because the money is coming. Then they start inviting everybody to anybody because they have good money coming. So then definitely, but they've created that niche, okay, my 1 lakh or 2 lakh audience will have his product view. So then they eventually convert it to business. But I think if you want to make it an authentic one, you have to filter. If I'm selling something which is like braces of legs, my audience would say, what is she doing today? So then I have to put up quotation. So it's up to you how you filter it. But yes, people start making it a business, of course, they do. And it's like till the time you're surviving, it's too. Because there's a lot of competition in the market for the podcast. There's a lot. And as she said, all the young people are the famous podcasters of our country. All below 32 years are the top podcasters of the country. So if you say Gen Z, they're doing great. So you talk about any podcaster, top podcaster, what is their age? 32, 33. That's the top podcasters. So that is your responsibility again.
So where do you see the podcast industry and content creation going 10 years or 20 years from now? What topics are we missing that India still need to explore in terms of impactful podcasting?
I think what my forte is, I am very much into the inner growth that you go through. I am also an empath. The spiritual aspect of humanity I am exploring. I think we all need to go within ourselves to find our own voices because social media is a lot of distraction and the young generation is also suffering from so much competition online because you are putting everything out there on the social media and you don't know that what kind of impact the young minds are having. Even our own parents also who see other people doing very well because social media you are always going to put your best selves out there, right? So I think for parents also it's very important to realize that what is the need of your children right now to be mentally fit in terms of not get swayed away by the distraction on the social media. For that we need to bring the spirituality back. I'm not going to talk about any religion over there, but if you go to Sanatan Dharma, वहाँ पे आपको you will get to realize that you need to get within yourself and वर्षों से यही चला आ रहा था, ठीक है ना, जो हमारे बुजुर्गों ने देखा है जिस तरह से वो जीते थे, तो वहाँ उस टाइम पे डिप्रेशन इतना नहीं था जो आज के टाइम पे हो रहा है because we have so many facilities out there. जिस तरह से हमारा वो लीड कर रहा है, everyone is out there, open out there to showing their best selves, vulnerability कोई शेयर नहीं कर रहा है. तो यहाँ पे बहुत ज़रूरत है कि वो spiritual aspect लाने की and that is going to be my forte also that in future in 10 years I am seeing myself and to be one of the best podcasters our country is going to have.
What do you think, Charu? What topics are we missing out in the content industry in India? And what can we look, what will be looking at in 10 years?
See, I was the one who got a lot of learning from podcast. I used to listen to the podcast and I transformed myself. So that was the reason I understood that it's one of the most amazing thing because TV में, channels में, people can't get all the guests. So this thing, social media is a boon. I always say if you use technology in the right way, a young 27-year-old child today, child to nahi obviously adult, 27-year-old is earning in lakhs and crores, which probably our parents' generation would do in 50 years. And that is the power of social media. Social media, I have learned a lot from social media. So podcasting is a thing that will survive forever. Because it's at your thumbs and your fingers that you can just gain any knowledge from the bestest of the experts. Today, I don't know how many of you know Oprah. I'm sure everybody must be knowing Oprah Winfrey. She had the best show. I was a fan of her for Oprah Winfrey show which she used to run. She's off the show.
And still relevant, right?
Still relevant, absolutely. And today she's having her own podcast with the Soul Thing, right? So what I mean to say, it is gonna survive for 10-20 years. And what she said, spirituality is what I've connected to. Today when we talk about even the audience today, the youngsters today are more inclined to spirituality. और अभी आपने जब कुंभ हुआ था तो उसमें जो एज थी, the maximum age people who went were from 30 to 45. पहले तो मैं ऐसी में दादी and all going to कुंभ है ना, और बस में जाते थे, थके हुए आते थे. अब all the youngsters have started going, you know. So this podcast journey is gonna go for years and it is gonna really help. And I'm sure it's helping today also. It's gonna help people to even grow in life. The people who are even teaching you how to start your business. Many housewomen and housewives started their business by learning from the podcast. So I think this industry is gonna go, and it's just a request. One should be responsible, and who is good is gonna survive because the competition is very tough. You give a very layman and a very slaying one-liner, which you've already seen to one of the topmost podcaster of a country. A very silly joke or what a silly statement he made, and he's off now, So you have that responsibility also as a pod. It's not easy to be on the social media.
That is where ethics comes in.
Ethics comes when you are seen on social media. You are probably becoming more famous than the film stars also, because so many people are looking at you and not buying tickets and they're just opening the phone and looking at you. So as a podcaster or as an influencer, it's not easy for you as a life also. आप कहीं गए हो और आपने अपना फ्री मूड में कुछ करा है, आपकी किसी ने वीडियो डाल दी, गए. So it's not that easy. You have a responsibility as a host as well, So you've seen the live examples of that guy. I will not name him though. How he just fell in one night.
On that note, I'd like to bring one more important. See, when we were talking about Oprah Winfrey, it was a media, it was a traditional media.
Yeah.
But podcasting is a different content form
started now,
altogether,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But see, they were not pushed by algorithms, but algorithms push certain kind of content in our era. Do you think podcasting as a form of content have a way to break the echo chambers or redefine it? Like if there's one sort of algorithm going on, can we break that kind of chain with long form content?
Should I?
Yeah, please.
We can do that. To be honest about this answer, like only 20 to 30% people from the intellectual section do watch such long format, right? And we are targeting that also only because I know that even after 10 or 20 years, the content that we are making today is going to be relevant. And the short format, the जो 30-40 सेकंड का रहता है, इस वो रील्स relevant नहीं रहती है. But it is for the long term because अभी आपको लग रहा होगा कि that we are अभी इतना growth नहीं है in terms of because subscribers. If you put cringe content, you are going to get reach very easily. But such content that we are making today, it takes time. But you do have to be consistent and believe in yourself that this is going to make a change in the country. And हमें वही देखना है that what are we going to do for this generation और जो आगे की generation आने वाली है. Because we don't want to inspire young generation out there to be just in reels or TikTok. I'm not demeaning it, but हमारे देश में क्या ज़रूरत है? डॉक्टर्स की ज़रूरत है, इंजीनियर्स की ज़रूरत है, the people that we have. And for that we need to teach them that they don't have to. Parents को भी awareness आने की ज़रूरत है कि बच्चों का ये वाला time. It's very crucial and we need people like them because ये लोग हैं जो change लाने वाले हैं country में. I think podcasting is going to be that medium for the people out there.
Yeah, I'll not take much time because I see her there. Okay, so I'll finish it with a sentence. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you so much.
See, social media trained us to react very quickly. I hope long format, long content format and podcasting will change that and start thinking deeply about things. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.